paddles, friends, and today's hottest sport. Pickleball has officially gone bonkers. It's become the fastest growing sport on the planet, with 20 million Americans picking up paddles last year, and the rest of the world catching on fast. The revenue surrounding this sporting empire is projected to hit a staggering $9.1 billion in the next decade, up from basically zero just several years ago. With an aging population and international markets just beginning to discover this accessible sport, this transformation from retirement home activity to one of the most lucrative industries in modern recreation is primed to have billions more in runway ahead. Right, listen here. While pickleball might seem like just another recreational activity, the infrastructure boom tells the real story. Courts are being booked solid months in advance, with over 70,000 facilities nationwide, and my own local gym converting the basketball courts to pickleball courts after 23 years. But here's what makes all this particularly fascinating. We're watching celebrity investors like LeBron James and Tom Brady throw millions at teams.
LeBron James has been part of some pretty epic teams throughout his career, but the all-star consortium that he's teaming up with to purchase a Major League Pickleball team might be one of his best off-the-court moves.
In a sport that was invented by three bored blokes in 1965 who couldn't find proper badminton shuttlecocks. These aren't publicity stunts. Major League Pickleball teams are now selling for over $10 million, representing 100x returns in just 4 years. The question isn't whether pickleball is legitimate. Those valuations answer that definitively. The question is how three friends accidentally created a sporting revolution that's reshaping American recreation and making fortunes in the process. Now, before we dive into this tale of accidental empire building, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. You'll want to stick around for more stories about people making fortunes from ideas so simple they seem absolutely bonkers. Now picture a tennis court shrunk to 20 by 44 feet, roughly the size of a badminton court. Players use solid paddles slightly larger than ping-pong bats, hitting a plastic ball with holes that bounces much lower than a tennis ball. The net sits at 36 inches high, and there's a 7-foot no-volley zone near the net called the kitchen, where aggressive volleys are banned. This is tennis light, deliberately designed for accessibility. Where tennis requires explosive movement and years of technique development, pickleball lets beginners rally within minutes. The lower bounce reduces physical demands. The shorter court means less running, and underhand serving eliminates intimidation. I'll admit something rather embarrassing. After researching this story, I convinced a few mates to try pickleball at our local sports center. 20 minutes in, whilst attempting what I thought was a particularly athletic return, I managed to pop a disc in my back and spent the next week hobbling around like an arthritic pensioner. The irony wasn't lost on me. Even the gentlest American innovation nearly did me in. My personal humiliation aside, the infrastructure explosion tells the real story. These courts are being built faster than Starbucks opens coffee shops. The demographic spread defies traditional sports patterns, unlike tennis, which skews toward affluent communities with expensive club memberships. Pickleball attracts everyone from retirement communities to young professionals. 60% of players are over 55, but youth participation surges as schools install courts. This accessibility reveals something crucial about modern recreation. People want activities that are social, immediately enjoyable, and don't require massive investment. Pickleball delivers all three while creating genuine competitive excitement. Summer 1965, Bainbridge Island, Washington. You heard that right. Pickleball has been around for 60 years. Congressman Joel Pritchard returned from golf with businessman Bill Bell and printer Barney McCallum. Pritchard's property featured an old badminton court, but lacked shuttlecocks for proper play. Most sensible people would have purchased new shuttlecocks or chosen different activities, but these three Americans, possessed by that peculiar can-do spirit, decided to improvise. They grabbed ping-pong paddles and found a perforated plastic ball lying about. The badminton net proved too high, so they lowered it to a manageable height. What followed was casual experimentation that would reshape American recreation. Their hybrid game felt natural within minutes. The plastic ball's low bounce meant longer rallies. Solid paddles provided better control, and the smaller court reduced physical demands. But here's what's fascinating about their invention. They accidentally solved multiple problems simultaneously. The underhand serve eliminated intimidation that kept people away from tennis. The kitchen zone prevented aggressive net play that could end rallies too quickly. The lower net height made the game accessible to children and seniors alike. Family members joined throughout that summer, each contributing to evolving rules. Joan Pritchard became the sport's unofficial first marketing director, coining the name Pickleball, either after the family dog Pickles or Crew's pickle boat, where oarsmen were picked from leftovers. The beauty of their accidental creation was its immediate inclusivity. Unlike tennis, where beginners spend months just learning to hit the ball over the net consistently, or golf, where a decent swing takes years to develop, pickleball offered instant gratification. A complete novice could step onto the court and within 20 minutes be having genuine rallies with experienced players. McCallum understood commercial potential first. In 1967, he began manufacturing wooden paddles in his basement for $5 each, proving people would pay for equipment to play a game that didn't officially exist. By 1972, they formalized rules and established Pickleball, Inc., transitioning from weekend experiment to actual business. The progression from accident to industry began with genuine word-of-mouth enthusiasm. No marketing budget, no celebrity endorsements, just neighbors telling neighbors about this brilliant new game that anyone could play. This organic growth pattern would become pickleball's secret weapon for decades. By 2025, the numbers surrounding pickleball had become extraordinary. When Major League Pickleball, MLP, launched in 2021, teams sold for approximately $100,000. By 2025, those same franchises were selling for over $10 million, representing 100 times returns in just 4 years. The Palm Beach Royals sale wasn't an anomaly. It was systematic value creation across the entire ecosystem. Hyperspace Ventures, the firm that purchased the team, had previously invested $5.3 million in Pickleball Inc., demonstrating institutional recognition that this wasn't just recreational activity, but serious business infrastructure. Celebrity investors who entered early were seeing extraordinary returns that made cryptocurrency gains look modest. Teams that LeBron James, Tom Brady, and Kevin Durant acquired for hundreds of thousands were now worth millions. These weren't publicity stunts. They were calculated investments by people who understand return on investment better than most. But the real validation came from equipment manufacturers proving organic growth could outperform venture capital. Selkirk Sports' 1,900% revenue increase since 2019 without external investment demonstrated the power of meeting genuine market demand with quality products. Their paddles now command $200 to $300. The professional circuit economics became increasingly sophisticated, with prize pools exceeding $1 million per tournament. This attracted world-class athletes from tennis, badminton, and table tennis who recognized pickleball offered better financial opportunities than their original sports. Television contracts with major networks brought consistent revenue while exposing millions to competitive pickleball for the first time. What's particularly remarkable is how equipment sales evolved from McCallum's $5 basement paddles to a $703 million market in 2025, projected to hit $1.85 billion by 2032. We're talking about compound annual growth rates that would make tech executives weep with envy, all for hitting plastic balls with sophisticated paddles. Google Trends data over 5 years reveals dramatic acceleration in public interest, extending far beyond America. Search volume has grown exponentially, with the United States leading, but countries like Vietnam, Brazil, and Australia showing increasing curiosity that predicts massive future participation growth. The international opportunity became clear as American cultural trends typically spread globally within 3 to 5 years. Countries showing early adoption represent potential gold mines for equipment exports and facility development. American companies positioned for international expansion could capture enormous additional revenue streams as the sport spreads worldwide. The pandemic explosion attracted entertainment and sports celebrities who recognized both cultural momentum and extraordinary financial opportunity. These weren't typical endorsement deals where stars collect appearance fees. They were substantial equity investments where celebrities risked personal wealth betting on pickleball's continued growth. When athletes worth hundreds of millions invest their own money, markets pay attention. LeBron James didn't just buy a team for publicity. He saw the demographic data showing affluent, engaged audiences and the participation growth that seemed unstoppable. Tom Brady, fresh from his final Super Bowl victory, chose pickleball over countless other investment opportunities. Equipment manufacturers scrambled to meet demand, exceeding their wildest projections. Selkirk Sport suddenly found products featured in Costco and Dick's Sporting Goods, a distribution breakthrough that took tennis equipment decades to achieve. Major companies like Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour entered with specialized pickleball shoes, recognizing this represented a permanent addition to American recreational culture. The infrastructure crisis intensified as existing courts proved woefully insufficient for rapidly growing demand. Court rental prices increased dramatically in major metropolitan areas, creating arbitrage opportunities for entrepreneurs willing to convert existing facilities. Basketball courts at community centers, futsal fields at soccer complexes, and even large parking lots were being transformed into pickleball venues, generating substantial rental income. Professional leagues capitalized on explosive momentum by expanding prize pools and attracting major corporate sponsors. The Association of Pickleball Professionals, APP, and Major League Pickleball, MLP, began competing for top talent, with salary guarantees and performance bonuses that rivaled traditional sports. The franchise revolution reached fever pitch with companies like The Pickler, founded by a prominent entrepreneur in Scottsdale, Arizona. These weren't simple sports facilities. They were complete lifestyle destinations featuring multiple courts, professional coaching, social events, food service, and upscale amenities that justified monthly memberships of $100 to $200. The Pickler model solved multiple problems simultaneously, providing guaranteed court access when public facilities were overcrowded, offering professional instruction for skill development, and creating social networking opportunities that extended far beyond sport. The franchise grew from single location to multi-state operation within 3 years, proving the scalability of premium pickleball facilities. Corporate partnerships multiplied exponentially as brands recognized pickleball's affluent, engaged demographic. Over 150 companies partnered with Pickleball Properties between 2022 and 2023, including financial services firms like Morgan Stanley, luxury car manufacturers like BMW, and premium consumer brands seeking access to educated, high-income participants who represented ideal target customers. Technology integration accelerated with sophisticated apps for court reservations, player matching systems, and even blockchain play-to-earn models that rewarded participation with digital tokens. The sport evolved beyond simple recreation into a comprehensive lifestyle and investment ecosystem, attracting serious institutional money from venture capital firms and private equity. The pickleball industry operates as a sophisticated money-making machine with multiple revenue streams, offering opportunities from individual entrepreneurs to multinational corporations. Understanding these revenue sources reveals why smart money is flooding into this space. Equipment sales remain foundational, but the market has segmented into highly profitable categories.
My paddle is a Selkirk, which is a very popular brand name. For me, it's got a nice big sweet spot, which is a great place to hit the ball.
Beginner paddles at $50 to $80 serve newcomers discovering the sport, while professional-grade equipment commands $200 to $300 from serious players obsessed with performance optimization. The profit margins are extraordinary, paddles costing $20 to manufacture retail for $150 to $250, creating gross margins that would make luxury goods executives jealous. It's not the cheapest one, but if you want to buy the paddle I like most, click the link in the description. Equipment extends far beyond paddles. Specialized balls designed for indoor versus outdoor play generate consistent revenue at $3 to $5 per dozen. Pickleball-specific shoes from major brands address the sport's unique movement patterns, lateral shuffling rather than tennis's forward sprinting. Apparel lines create fashion statements for a demographic that values both performance and style, with some pickleball clothing commanding premium prices rivaling golf attire. facility operations offer the most scalable revenue model with multiple income streams from single locations. Court rentals typically charge $20 to $50 hourly during peak times, but membership models provide predictable recurring revenue. Monthly memberships of $50 to $100 guarantee court access while building customer loyalty that extends beyond individual playing sessions. The most successful facilities operate like country clubs rather than simple sports venues. They offer food service, generating additional revenue per customer, retail shops selling equipment and apparel, social events that strengthen community bonds, and business networking opportunities that justify premium pricing. Corporate events, birthday parties, league play, and tournament hosting create revenue streams from the same infrastructure investment. Coaching and instruction represent extremely high-margin services that scale with expertise and reputation. Professional instructors charge $50 to $100 per private session, while group clinics serve multiple customers simultaneously at $20 to $30 per person. Certification programs for coaches create additional revenue streams while improving instruction quality across the entire industry. The franchise model has proven extraordinarily successful for rapid national expansion. The Pickler, Pickleball Kingdom, Dill Dinkers, and others offer proven operational templates that reduce risk while accelerating growth. Franchise fees typically range from $50,000 to $150,000, plus ongoing royalties of 5 to 8% of gross revenue, creating substantial income for operators while building recognizable national brands. International expansion represents perhaps the most enormous untapped opportunity in the global sports industry. Countries like Vietnam and Brazil show remarkable early adoption, proving the sport's universal appeal transcends cultural and economic boundaries. This creates prime opportunities for international markets to capitalize on America's proven blueprint for success. The business model for international expansion is essentially risk-free because all the experimentation has been completed. America has proven that pickleball works across demographics, from retirement communities to young professionals, from urban centers to suburban developments. Countries adopting pickleball now can skip the experimental phase and implement proven strategies for court construction, equipment distribution, and facility operations. American companies have significant first-mover advantages in emerging international markets. Equipment manufacturers like Selkirk have perfected designs and materials that would be extremely difficult for international competitors to replicate quickly. Quality control standards and branding developed through serving demanding American customers provide competitive advantages that emerging markets desperately need as local demand accelerates. Facility consulting offers another lucrative revenue stream with minimal capital requirements. Companies that have successfully developed pickleball facilities in the United States can monetize their expertise by advising international developers on court design, operational models, marketing strategies, and financial projections. This knowledge transfer commands premium consulting fees while requiring virtually no upfront investment. The transition from backyard game to legitimate business began in 1972, when the inventors formalized rules and established Pickleball, Inc. This wasn't corporate strategy. It was three friends recognizing their summer experiment had outgrown informal management as requests for equipment poured in from across the Pacific Northwest. The first official tournament in 1976 at Tukwila, Washington, attracted just 19 participants, but proved competitive pickleball could work. Unlike tennis tournaments, with their complex seeding systems and intimidating country club atmosphere, this event felt like a neighborhood block party with scorekeeping. The casual competitiveness became pickleball's signature characteristic, serious enough to matter, relaxed enough for everyone to enjoy. By 1984, the sport needed legitimate governance, leading to the United States Amateur Pickleball Association formation, now USA Pickleball. This marked the transition from recreational activity to organized sport with standardized rules, certified referees, and official rankings, while maintaining the inclusive spirit that differentiated it from traditional sports hierarchies. The 1990s and 2000s brought steady but unremarkable growth, primarily through senior communities and RV parks across the American Southwest. Pickleball became associated with retirement living because the low-impact nature appealed to older adults seeking exercise without joint stress. This demographic focus provided stable player base, but created perception problems that would take take decades to overcome. Florida emerged as the unofficial capital during this period, combining year-round outdoor weather, massive retirement populations, and existing tennis infrastructure. Entire planned communities began marketing pickleball courts as premium amenities, and specialized facilities started appearing in retirement developments where tennis was too demanding, but residents still wanted competitive recreation. Equipment evolved dramatically from McCallum's basement operation. Companies like Onyx Sports and Jula began using aerospace materials and engineering principles to optimize paddle performance, and the balls themselves became sophisticated products with different designs for indoor versus outdoor play, various climate conditions, and skill levels. What started as improvised equipment became precision-engineered sports gear. The 2009 US Open Championships in Naples, Florida, represented crucial validation, the sport's first major tournament with substantial prize money and legitimate national media coverage. Professional players could finally earn meaningful income, and the event proved pickleball could support serious competition while maintaining its recreational appeal. But the real transformation began in the 2010s as younger players discovered something tennis couldn't provide: immediate gratification. Where tennis required months of lessons to achieve basic competency, pickleball allowed complete beginners to enjoy competitive rallies within their first hour on court. The shorter learning curve attracted busy professionals who wanted recreational activities that fit their schedules without requiring extensive skill development. COVID-19 created perfect conditions for explosive growth. Government lockdowns closed indoor gyms and fitness centers, forcing people to seek outdoor activities. Pickleball, played outdoors on courts that naturally maintained social distancing, became one of the few recreational activities remaining both legal and safe during pandemic restrictions. Social media amplification during lockdown created viral marketing that no advertising budget could have purchased. Celebrities stuck at home began posting pickleball videos. Influencers discovered the sport's photogenic appeal, and ordinary families shared clips of backyard games that exposed millions to a sport they'd never considered trying. Equipment shortages revealed just how rapidly demand was accelerating. Retailers couldn't keep paddles in stock. Court construction companies faced 6-month waiting lists, and even basic balls became difficult to find. Supply chain disruptions that devastated most industries actually helped pickleball by creating scarcity that enhanced desirability. The sustainability question appears definitively settled by multiple converging factors that suggest permanent cultural transformation rather than temporary recreational enthusiasm. Demographic diversity proves this transcends any single age group that might lose interest over time. While 60% of current players are over 55, youth participation is surging dramatically as schools and universities install courts. The sport's fundamental accessibility means it can grow with participants as they age, unlike high-impact activities that force retirement due to physical limitations or injury risk. The social component creates community connections that survive individual motivation fluctuations. Pickleball clubs and leagues generate friendships, business relationships, and social networks that extend far beyond the sport itself. Players continue participating not just for exercise, but for social interaction that becomes integral to their lifestyle and identity. Investment patterns suggest permanence through substantial financial commitments that wouldn't make sense for temporary phenomena. When celebrities invest millions in teams, when major sporting goods companies launch comprehensive product lines, and when municipalities budget millions for court construction, they're betting on long-term viability with their own money and reputations at stake. The infrastructure build-out represents perhaps the strongest indicator of permanence. Converting tennis courts, constructing dedicated facilities, and installing permanent court surfaces require capital investments that only make sense if demand is expected to continue for decades. These aren't temporary installations. They're permanent additions to recreational infrastructure that will serve communities for generations. Corporate sponsorship deals reflect mainstream acceptance by major brands seeking long-term marketing partnerships. Companies don't invest in multi-year sponsorship agreements for fading trends. Make sure to get your new paddle with the link in the description, because there's a sale going on right now as I post this video. It won't last long, but regardless, I've found this is the best value paddle anyway. The demographic data showing engaged, affluent audiences makes pickleball extremely attractive for brands targeting educated, high-income consumers across multiple age groups. International expansion provides additional sustainability evidence. When sports spread globally, they achieve momentum that becomes extremely difficult to reverse. Tennis, golf, and soccer all followed similar international expansion patterns that led to permanent establishment in recreational culture worldwide. Pickleball is following the same trajectory. Technology trends strongly favor continued growth through innovations that enhance player experience while creating additional revenue opportunities. Smartphone apps connecting players across geographic regions, sophisticated booking systems optimizing court usage, and performance tracking platforms that gamify improvement all enhance the playing experience while generating subscription revenue streams. The aging baby boomer population represents a massive demographic tailwind that will drive participation for decades. As this generation reaches retirement age with more discretionary time and higher disposable income than previous generations, pickleball's accessibility and social benefits position it perfectly to capture their recreational spending. Youth development programs are expanding rapidly as schools and universities recognize pickleball's educational benefits. The sport teaches strategy, hand-eye coordination, and social skills while requiring minimal athletic ability or expensive equipment. Physical education programs are adopting pickleball because it engages students who typically avoid traditional competitive sports. The Olympic inclusion possibility represents a potential catalyst for massive international growth acceleration.
But some experts say it's only a matter of time since we see it as an official Olympic sport. The president of the World Pickleball Federation tells ESPN that the International Olympic Committee is very interested in pickleball.
While pickleball hasn't achieved Olympic recognition yet, the sport's global expansion and organizational development suggest eventual consideration. Olympic status would dramatically accelerate international adoption and create additional sponsorship opportunities worth hundreds of millions. The ultimate irony of pickleball's extraordinary success is that it embodies everything we Brits claim to value: practical innovation, inclusive community building, sensible problem solving, yet required distinctly American entrepreneurial energy to transform these principles into a billion-dollar global industry. What began as three frustrated friends improvising with broken equipment became the definitive masterclass in accidentally building recreational empire, solving unknown problems, and creating unintended markets that continue generating fortunes 60 years later. Right, well, there you have it. Three blokes with broken sports equipment accidentally created a billion-dollar empire, spreading worldwide faster than we can track. The next revolutionary sport might be developing in someone's backyard. Whilst we argue about proper methods, you'll want to stick around for more stories about people making fortunes from ideas so simple they seem completely mental. Bah, humbug.